Now let's begin the procedures for patch removal. Before you remove the PharmChek sweat patch, you should have the following materials: disposable gloves, specimen bag, single-use tweezers, chain of custody form, plastic transport bag, and a mailing envelope. When the donor returns to have the patch removed, pull the appropriate chain of custody form from your files. First, compare the ID number written on the chain of custody form with the number printed on the patch. If the numbers agree, record the date the patch is being removed on the chain of custody form. On the chain of custody form, both parties must verify the information and initial the form. Examine the patch. The sweat patch is designed to stick to the skin only one time. A successfully worn sweat patch should be firmly attached to the skin and be transparent at the time of removal. If the edges of the patch have lifted or rolled during wear, but the patch is still firmly stuck to the skin around the outside of the absorbent pad, the patch is uncompromised and acceptable. The edges of the patch may become dirty while it is being worn. This does not compromise the patch. Notice that on the sweat patch on the left, the clear covering of the patch looks transparent. The patch on the right has been removed and reapplied. The covering of this patch appears slightly cloudy. Skin cells stick to a patch that has been removed. This keeps it from being completely transparent. Note that the patch on the left is adhering firmly to the skin. The patch on the right, which has been reapplied, does not stick as well to the skin and easily lifts away. While all donors differ over a 14-day wear period, the following photos show how a typical patch will appear. Day 4, Day 7, Day 11. If the donor tries to alter the patch by applying a substance to the outside of the patch, the covering will most likely no longer be shiny, smooth, or transparent. If someone tries to alter the patch by injecting a substance under the patch's outer covering, several things may happen. The absorbent pad may become discolored. The skin under the pad may become irritated and red, and holes from a hypodermic needle may be visible in the covering. Before the absorbent pad from the patch is removed, it is required that the person who removes the absorbent pad put on a new pair of disposable gloves for each patch. Single-use tweezers must be used to remove the absorbent pad. This avoids contamination of the pad. If you believe the patch has been tampered with, take a digital photo of the suspect patch and forward the photo to your PharmChem account manager. However, send the suspect specimen to the laboratory for analysis for standard screening. Remember that CRL does not test for adulterants and tampering. Write what you have observed on the chain of custody form. This will provide documentation if the patch is unfit for analysis or gives unexpected results. Once the patch ID number has been checked and the patch examined, request that the donor pull down the top edge of the patch, starting from one of the top corners. Using a gloved hand, pull down the top edge of the patch halfway. Use the single-use tweezers to remove the pad. Firmly grasp the pad with the tweezers and in one fluid motion, pull up on the pad as you pull down on the film. The absorbent pad is the only part of the patch that is analyzed at the laboratory. Place the pad in the plastic specimen bag and seal immediately. Only the white absorbent pad is to be sent to the lab, along with a completed chain of custody form. Note there is a fee for a no test, which is what will occur if these procedures are not followed. There are 3 peel and stick barcode labels and a security seal on the chain of custody form near the bottom. These barcode labels match the barcode on the top right of the COC. Peel off the security seal from the chain of custody form. Place the security seal where the top of the bag meets the center of the bag. Write the date the patch was removed on the security seal and initial it. There is a drawing of a properly sealed bag on the chain of custody form. Once the absorbent pad has been properly sealed in the specimen bag and recorded, remove the outside covering of the sweat patch from the arm. Notice how firmly the patch is sticking to the skin. It is important to notice the feel of a well-adhered patch so that you can easily identify a reapplied patch. It is recommended that you hold the transparent covering of the patch up to the light after the patch has been removed from the skin. Look for needle holes in the cover. However, very small needle holes may not be detected using these procedures. If the patch appears to be tampered with, note it on the chain of custody form or in the logbook. After the visual inspection has been completed, you can discard the transparent covering. Affix a barcode sticker from the chain of custody form to the outside of the specimen bag. One barcode label is placed on the specimen bag, the second barcode label can be placed on the transport bag, the third barcode label can be used for in-house tracking. If you believe the patch has been tampered with, take a digital photo and forward the photo to your PharmChem account manager. Mail the absorbent pad to the lab. Complete the chain of custody form in the donor's presence. Record the date the patch was removed, the observer's initials, the donor's initials, PharmChek use information, last use questionnaire on medications, donor's signature or initials, and observer's signature. Shipping information to the lab can be entered on the second ply if necessary. The address for the lab on the second ply is for U.S. mail only. Place the plastic specimen bag into the plastic transport bag with the second ply of the chain of custody form. The absorbent pad requires no refrigeration, however high temperatures should be avoided. The worn absorbent pad can be stored at room temperature for up to a month. Place the plastic transport bag into the appropriate manila mailing envelope and send to the laboratory for testing. Several patch plastic transport bags can be placed in a single manila mailing envelope before sending to the lab. As mentioned earlier, with the use of an overlay, the patch can be worn for up to 14 days. Donors should be instructed to examine the patch and overlay daily to see if the adhesive is starting to pull away from the skin. If so, they should immediately visit the person, location who applied the patch. The adhesive durability of the patch in hot and humid weather as well as extreme cold has been documented as not only safe but resilient. Many of our customers digitally photograph the patch and overlay when applied and again before removal. Skin irritation due to wearing the patch or from the absorbent pad is rare. However, a very small number of people are indeed allergic to the adhesive, and if so, skin irritation will become evident within an hour or two. If this occurs, the wearer should return to the application site and have the patch removed. The points to remember when removing the patch are: check the patch ID number to make sure it matches the one written down. Wear disposable gloves. Use the single-use tweezers to handle the pad and place it into the plastic specimen bag. Check the patch for any signs that it may have been compromised. Record the date the patch was removed on the chain of custody form. Should the patch or overlay appear to be losing its adhesive properties, the donor should contact the applying official at once. Once the absorbent pad reaches the laboratory, it will have a screening test performed on it. If the screening test is positive, a confirmation test using liquid chromatography tandem mass spectrometry will be performed. The PharmChek sweat patch contains no chemical compounds which are known to cause skin irritation. If skin irritation should occur while wearing the patch, it should be removed immediately and the skin appropriately treated. If the skin irritation appears serious or requires medical attention, immediately contact a doctor. Any such skin irritation should be digitally photographed and sent to your service representative at PharmChem. Thank you for choosing PharmChem for your drug testing needs. If you have any questions about the sweat patch, its application or removal, or how the sweat patch is tested in the laboratory, please contact your PharmChem service representative.